All right, we ready?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back for another episode of 217 South Mills.
Brought to you by Cabin Coffee Altoona, located at 2922 Meadowlark Lane in Altoona, Wisconsin.
And Pizza Del Rey, located in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, our favorite pizza place in the state. Folks, we're going to start off the show talking about Shane Gillis' appearance at the ESPYs. Wasn't well received in the audience, but I think nationwide fans really appreciated it. One of the jokes we appreciated as fans of 217 South Mills was the Shedeur Sanders joke about there's no way it was nepotism, him getting his jersey retired. Shedeur went 13-12 over his career and almost won the Alamo Bowl. Definitely not nepotism. After that, another joke that came up was about the WNBA, how it's almost being compared to the NBA in popularity. Shane Gillis announced four-time WNBA All-Star Brittany Hicks was there. The whole crowd erupted in applause, applauding the WNBA All-Star. Turns out it was one of his comedic friends' wives in the crowd. Had nothing to do with basketball. Just shows you who knows basketball players and what cities the WNBA teams are in.
I mean, I know Lexi Hall and Sophie Cunningham.
Exactly. I think we all do. I think we're going to get to that. Did you have another joke you wanted to do before we go WNBA?
Yeah, I like the one. Bookie is what Bill Belichick reads to his girlfriend before bedtime. I mean, it's perfect. But Bill, we love you, man. Hey, kudos to you, my friend.
I think it's 76 and 24, right? He's 76. I think she's 24 years old.
It could be a new rap song.
Exactly. No kidding. So with the WNBA, and you see the shirt behind us in the background, we want to start off by talking Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. They're trying to compare it to Larry and Magic. Mm-hmm. It's not there.
No.
It's not there at all.
And the shirt says, "Pay us what you owe us." What do they owe you?
And we talked about this before the show. The WNBA has been around for almost 40 years. Over those 40 years, not 1 year have they made money. The NBA subsidizes them $10 million a year, and the average salary, like a Caitlin Clark, she's making $76,000 a year. Mm-hmm. I think the largest salary in the WNBA is $250,000 a year. But what are they owed? They don't make money. Now, the devil's argument to that is even if your business isn't making money, you still have to invest in the quality product, quality employees. But
if the team pays or the league pays what they owe, then the women should be paying the league the amount of money that's being lost. So, I mean, because in reality, wouldn't that be what they're owed?
It's a good argument to have. I mean, but then you have Angel Reese coming out saying, which Angel Reese is a tough one. I know she's liked by many. I will give her, as a former salesperson, she knows how to sell herself. She knows how to make the comments that get out there. And one of the comments she made in the WNBA right now is going through CBA discussions, negotiating their salaries, stuff like that. And she said, if we don't get paid what NBA players get paid, we could sit out. And I'm like, come on, Angel. You don't really believe that.
It's a bad time. I mean, they're trying to expand. They want to go to Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia in the years 2028, 29, and 30. Obviously with Caitlin Clark, I got to say, I've watched more WNBA games than I did NBA this year. There's definitely a talent there. I definitely like the Sophie Cunningham tackling at the end of the game, protecting Caitlin Clark. So, I mean, kudos to her.
That was absolutely phenomenal, that Cunningham. Her jersey sales reached number one. I think she gained 500,000 followers on social media. And, she's the enforcer on that team. I mean, she doesn't take shit from anybody. But what I will say about Caitlin Clark, and I know this is a hot take, but I really feel like there's racism against the white girl, and I'll say heterophobic-ism because she's straight. Mm-hmm. She's white and she's straight, and that league doesn't like that. And she's getting a lot of attention as a second-year player and got a huge amount of attention as a first-year player. She basically, she took a league that was flying commercial to now everybody's taking private planes because of her. Mm-hmm. Everyone's making more money because of her. Mm-hmm. How do you not appreciate that as a player, whether you're the second best player in the league or the last player in the league, how do you not say, I don't care, she's a second player. She's hooked up our league and made us relevant.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're 3 football guys talking about the WNBA.
Right.
I couldn't tell you a thing about the WNBA before Caitlin Clark came in there. I didn't even know they were still in existence.
I didn't either.
I mean, I knew Diana Taurasi, I think.
Yeah, we knew that, but that was
who else?
We knew her from 15 years ago.
That's true.
I mean, 10 years ago, I thought the league was done.
I have not followed any of the WNBA, and along the same lines, I thought that they were defunct, and I thought I never hear of them. So I had no idea that they were still in existence.
I got to say, though, I mean, the Olympic team for not including Clark last year, I thought that was I get why they didn't, trying to keep all the veterans, but man, you got a shining star. You got to ride that train, right?
But even on some of these statistics boards, they have Caitlin Clark as the 9th best guard in the WNBA.
Doesn't make sense.
I think, and it's the players that had her 9th best. I think reporters had her as 2nd best. I'm trying to think who the other voting category was, had her at 3rd best, and then the players had her at 9th best.
Right.
The players are not happy that she's getting success and bringing notoriety to the league. It doesn't make sense whatsoever.
Well, I'm a big fan of basketball in general, and I got to say, some of her 3-point shots from they got the Caitlin Clark little logo on. Yeah. You're talking 12, 15 feet beyond the arc. I mean, that's impressive.
It's
and she does that step back. I mean, she's a great shooter.
And she does it consistently.
Yes.
It's not just like a lucky shot every now and again.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's pretty damn consistent.
She's like the female Steph Curry. She's hitting half-court shots before the game.
Yep.
She's nailing those long threes during the game. And then what goes unheard of is she's a phenomenal passer.
Yep.
You talk to any coach, and it's like it's one thing having trouble defending a 3-point shot that's 10, 15 feet beyond the 3-point line, but her passing really surpasses everybody else in the league.
And what I like is off the court, she's signing autographs. Like she's a fan. I mean, fans glamour towards her. I mean,
she's bringing basketball to so many little girls, especially, but also little boys are loving her. I mean, there's male, female, boys, girls. Everyone's wearing Caitlin Clark jerseys. I mean, and the attendance. Joe and I talked about this. I don't know how many episodes ago when we did a WNBA episode. The attendance at most WNBA arenas is anywhere between, I'd say, 7,000 and 11,000 people.
Sounds about right.
Every arena she goes to is minimum 17,000.
Right.
And that was the whole Angel Reese argument, where Angel's like, it's not just because of one person, it's because of me too. Well, Angel, come on. All your games are around 9,000 to 11,000, except for one game, they had 17,000 people. That was against Caitlin Clark.
Right.
Yep. And fact check, I mean, WNBA is averaging 11,127 fans per game. It's up. They're on record to shatter the attendance record of 2.35 million from last year. They're reaching. They're looking at 3.18 million.
Damn, that's a hell of an increase.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's because of Angel Reese too.
That's the thing. Like, so another guy that I used to like I loved him as a football player. I liked him as a podcast host is Ryan Clark.
Yep.
And Ryan Clark, when they started their podcast, and I'd say for nowadays, probably 80% of his podcasts, I think are really good. They're informative. They ask good questions. They have good conversation. But he flat out comes out and is like, Angel Reese is the best. I go, come on, Ryan. Like, I know you're black and Angel's black, but you're making this a racial thing and not who the best person is or who the best talent is.
So we just compared the stats and let the numbers
That's
do the
what I'm
talking.
saying. Exactly.
And I mean,
now here's the other argument. Oh, Angel Reese is the best rebounder ever in the WNBA. Well, she goes up and misses 4 layups in a row and gets her own rebound 4 times. There's still rebounds, but when you look at it in the totality of things, I could do that 5 times and have 20 rebounds.
I was just thinking that. You probably can't shoot, but you probably could rebound.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Shoot, miss, rebound. Shoot, miss,
He's
rebound.
got a huge ass. Of course he's going to be able to rebound.
I'll back him out, and I got a 4 or 5 inch vertical nowadays. I can, jump over a parking cement deal. Like, come on, Joe.
You want to talk about a mini Shaq? Joe Grabowski in 7th, 8th grade. I mean, the shorts barely. He had to wear varsity triple X shorts as a seventh grader, right? Because we couldn't fit nothing in them.
I remember you guys talking about this. This was the episode that got screwed up where I think we didn't have value.
Oh,
with
absolutely.
Those stories of basketball back in the day.
Yeah, he's got the varsity, oversized jersey on. I mean, 6'6" as a seventh grader. Yep. Probably pushing, I would say 265 as a seventh grader. Man-child.
Yeah.
Mini Shaq.
Mini Shaq in 7th and 8th grade.
And if you look at their resemblance, Shaq and Joe have quite a resemblance. Mannerisms. Can you do a little Shaq?
I don't even know how to impersonate Shaq.
You gotta do a really deep, slow voice. I don't know.
I don't have a deep, slow voice. This is the voice I have.
That's it.
That's right it. There. Since 7th grade, this is what's exactly the same.
So just to hit on Ryan Clark, because I want to bash Ryan a little bit more. He had Andrew Schultz, the comedian, on his show because Ryan Clark bashed Andrew Schultz. So Andrew Schultz, just like Shane Gillis, that's his full-time job to be a comedian.
Right.
And I think in 2025, probably starting in 2020 to 2025, people forget what a joke is. Mm-hmm. People take everything way too seriously. And just like Richard Pryor and the comedians back in the day, I can't think of the other guy. George Carlin. Yeah. Where they would make fun of any race, any creed, any denomination, mm-hmm. and it was comedy. Mm-hmm. And that's what brought everybody together in the audience. Mm-hmm. Well, Andrew Schultz told the joke, and I don't remember the joke, and I don't remember the actual punchline, but the punchline had something to do with black females. And Ryan Clark goes off calling Andrew Schultz a racist. How do you call a comedian a racist based off of a joke that he tells in his skit? And he had Andrew Schultz on the show, and I love that show because Andrew Schultz called out Ryan Clark. And he called him out. He's like, I've looked through, before coming on the show, I looked through your lineup. You have a lot of athletes on that have been known to abuse spouses and partners. You never bring that up. Clark's response was, well, there's sometimes they want to take certain things out of the show, so we allow them to. So basically saying, if the guest doesn't want to talk about it, we're not going to talk about it. And it's almost like no harm, no foul.
Right.
But Andrew Schultz tells a joke, and Ryan Clark wants to call him a racist. Okay. It's nonsense. So that's where I just started not disliking Ryan Clark, but not liking him as much as I used to. So do we have anything else on the WNBA before we move on?
I don't have anything.
All right.
Good.
So we have the NFL is allowing flag football, NFL is allowing flag football in the Olympics. Flag players are thinking they deserve a chance to compete against flag football players. Now, Patrick Mahomes already talked about this. He goes, I'm too old. I'm not going to be doing it. But let's say he did. The guy that was in the Olympics last year, do we really think he's going to beat out Patrick Mahomes on the flag football team? No. I mean, I feel for those guys. They were in it before. They feel like that's something they've done. But compared to NFL guys,
it's not going to be a contest at all.
I'm going to say, though, the whole USA, it used to be the non-professionals. It was an amateur.
That was everything. Yeah.
Right? It was basketball. It was track.
Yeah.
And now it's all the professional athletes. Like, I'm having a hard time with it, right? If you're going to, then at least I'd like to see the amateur U.S. Olympics, right? I mean, get rid of these. Let the pro teams do it. You're seeing it. We like the hockey, mm-hmm. The Worlds. I definitely want to see that high-end, hockey. I want to see the high-end basketball, but I do want to see more televised amateur stuff. I mean,
I 100% agree with you, and I did and do respect the amateur side of it, but I think we also have to keep in mind every other country is using professionals. So like when we had amateurs, like think of the 1980 Olympics, we had amateurs, and yes, we won. But that Russian team, they were professionals. They were being paid for 20 years, and that's every other country is using professionals. So I respect the fact of amateurs, and I like it, and I especially like it because it's history and it's tradition. But I think America just got to the point where we don't want to, like when they were losing, especially in basketball, we don't want to do it anymore. We're going to put the best of the best out there, and I don't know. But
so you heard it here then. The flag football needs to be televised, and you need to do it like the NCAA tournament bracket. I want all the teams in. I want to rank them, pre-rank them, 1 through 16. You got your average Joes versus, versus Tyreek Hill and Patrick
I like that little drop you put in there, the average Joe.
Cabin Coffee might even have a team there.
Absolutely.
I'm sure my bookie will be on top of the rankings and the point spread and all that.
I mean, think about that. If a team of misfits takes down some NFL pros, I mean that's sports.
Yeah.
I mean, why not give them a chance, right? You see it like one of my favorite games in basketball. It's a $1 million prize, and you got alumni, you got ex-athletes all joining to win the $1 million. That's some of the best TV I've seen. These guys are just competing.
You get Mark Wahlberg's buddies from the lot outside the bar in that movie.
Yeah,
get that crew,
Exactly.
crew guys out there to play.
From Invincible.
Invincible, yes.
There you go.
If you'd like fresh roasted Cabin Coffee delivered directly to your door, go to Cabin Coffee Altoona's Facebook page or 217 South Mills Facebook page. Click on the coffee order form link, fill it out, pick out your beans, and get them delivered directly to your front door. Cabin Coffee Altoona.
Next up we got, and I just thought of this as a funny story, with everything in the news, with the politics about it, but then the humor at the end of it. I read that there was a 24-year-old illegal alien in our country that posed as a 16-year-old just so he could play high school sports. He only made JV.
Oh, jeepers.
It's tough.
It's getting more and more competitive.
We got tough American sports.
We do.
Now to the NFL, and this is something I think I might have mentioned, that there's a lot of money that goes around the NFL outside of salaries. There's fines, and Joe and I have talked about fines before, everything from socks to jerseys to what color cleats you wear, all that stuff you could get fined for. But jersey numbers, you have to pay somebody. So I came out, I was number 60 in college. Rob Davis wore number 16 in the NFL. I asked the equipment room, I'm like, do you think he'll give it up? And they basically looked at me, they're like, how much are you willing to pay him? And I'm like, I'm not going to pay anybody. You know, if it was $100, yeah,
Right.
but I'm not paying $20,000, $50,000, whatever. Well, in Oakland, Ashton Gentry paid 6 figures to get number 2.
Jeepers.
So that's at least $100,000 he paid. I've heard of guys for jersey numbers. I think somebody, this is horrible that I'm bringing it up and I don't know any details about it, but the guy that wanted the number, it was a punter or kicker that had the number. The guy bought him a house, the house that he wanted.
Wow.
Bought him a house to get the number. Because the guy knew, he's like, I've been wearing this number my whole career. Like, I don't need to give it up. The guy's like, what do you want? He's like, well, we wanted a house with a pool and this many square footage, this many bedrooms in this area. Bought him the house.
That's
To
insane.
get the jersey. Yeah.
Dang.
Absolutely crazy.
That's a stupid amount of money you have to be able to spend that kind of money on something like that. It's unbelievable.
I mean, a guy that's probably losing some money right now is Shador. Our good friend's got 2 speeding tickets in Ohio, so welcome to Ohio. If any of you guys have driven through, it is a state where you just set the speed limit 5 miles over, and that's it, right? So he's got a 91 and a 65, and then a 101 and a 60. So I guess thumbs up to the state troopers that got him. And then I guess, how do you feel about this one? The number 3 basically is he failed to appear in court.
Ooh,
What do you think about that, there, Officer Grabowski?
not good.
That's not ever good.
You know,
That's when the W word comes out for warrant.
Yep.
But I will give Shador, with all those money issues, with the whatever place he's on the depth chart, I read a stat that his jersey has already sold $250 million worth of jerseys. Now, I'm not saying he made 250, but $250 million worth of jerseys has been sold. So speaking of money now, we've always talked NIL on almost every single show. And it's basically billionaires are starting to buy college sports. And in Texas Tech, there's a former, which I'm proud of, former O-lineman, Cody Campbell, became an oil tycoon after graduating college and became a billionaire. And he founded a nonprofit collective to pay hundreds of athletes at Texas Tech. So far, they've already paid a girls softball player $1 million to come to Texas Tech.
Holy cow.
Girls softball. So, and no disrespect to girls softball, but we're not talking the starting quarterback on Texas Tech's football team.
Right.
You know, girls softball, it's not televised that much.
And it's not WNBA, and that's
exactly. But the notoriety's not as big. The name's not as big. Like, I don't even know the girl's name that got it, but I know she got $1 million. So,
well, she's a pitcher. I can tell you that.
Oh, I'm sure
and
she is.
The next highest paid girl is the pitcher from Texas, and let me tell you, she's as I was clicking through the channels, like, whoop, whoop, go back. And I was mesmerized for a good solid hour and a half watching. And that girl's throwing, I think she's throwing like 78.
It's insane.
Wow.
I mean, it was unbelievable. Tight, white, long leggings. I can tell you everything about it, but hey, kudos to you, Texas. You keep going.
Thought we were talking about Sophie Cunningham there for a second.
I mean,
Who's got a hell of a smile, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
And I love when she smiles when something, like she had a smile when Caitlin Clark got hit because she knew she was checking in that game to do what she did.
Oh, absolutely.
And that right there, it was like she gave a beautiful smile knowing she's going to go out there and abuse that other girl. And I'm like, that's classic. So new changes to, and this comes from the Hammer out east, new changes to the NCAA college football playoffs. So coming up, and Joe, you're going to love this. It's straight seeding model. There's no more first round buys. So we're not going to have that Boise State making it to the second round without earning that second round.
Apparently they listen to the show.
Correct. So the way they're doing it, though, they're not, and I apologize, I just ran too quick. No more first round buys for conference champs. The first round buy are going to be for the top 4 ranked teams, which
Makes
is
sense.
deserved. As of right now, they're still staying at 12 teams. And this article said, although some want 4 teams, some want 16 teams. I'm the type of guy that goes, let's go 16.
Now, being a player and playing college football and playing in the pros, I mean, it's a lot more games. Like
it is, but if we're talking national championship, like think of how disgusting it was when we played where it was voted on. So like I go back and give the argument that the first Rose Bowl that we won, the 99, we played UCLA. What a lot of people don't remember is the last week of the regular season, UCLA was playing Miami in the Orange Bowl. And it was like a hurricane just came through. It was downpour rain. And it turned into like a mud bowl. And UCLA was number 2 in the country. So they were figuring they were in the running for the national championship. I think Tennessee was number 1, UCLA was number 2. And how this is coming to me like this,
I have no idea. I'm looking at you in
exactly.
amazement going,
It's like I'm Rain Man, just spitting this out like a computer. So UCLA lost to Miami. And that's why they were so upset to play us. Because they're like, why should we be playing Wisconsin? We beat UCLA. So now we essentially beat
the number 2 ranked
the last game, the number 2 ranked team in the country. I think we finished that year number 3 or number 4 in the country. If we beat the number 2 team in the country, we would have probably been number 2.
Right.
Then we would have been voted on who the national champ is. But that whole vote, I remember when I was a kid, I'm like, this is bullshit that you vote.
It's a popularity contest. That's what it is.
So back to the playoffs.
It was. Absolutely.
With the 12 teams versus 16, like Kevin was saying a couple weeks ago about like some of the mid-majors, that how they're getting better recruits, how they're deserving. Maybe it is a Bowling Green that's sitting at number 15 in the country that no one's going to vote them in. But if it's a top 16, now they're in there. They have a chance.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not saying to make college football a top 64 like March Madness, but which I think that would be crazy. But top 16?
Yeah. I mean, as a fan now, would love it.
As a player,
you're.
So I think if you have the top 16, you're basically adding one more game if you win the national championship than what we had last year.
Very true.
So, I mean, but I do agree last year, those players, to play all those games, to finish, and then if you make it, then you're going into rookie camp in May. And now there's not, when I played, there was a rookie camp and 2 more mini camps that were spread out over a couple of weeks. Now there's OTAs that basically go from when the draft ends, like the next week, maybe they have a rookie camp, but then it's just OTAs until the season starts.
I think the athletes now, though, I'll say it. In the 90s, you just heard a lot of athletes in the bars, especially being in Wisconsin here. I was out in the Appleton area a lot in Green Bay, and there was a lot of times where you're drinking a beer and all of a sudden you're next to Frankie Winters, or you see Shimura in the bar. And Favre, I know I've heard many stories where he's at the bar, right? Supposedly drinking non-alcoholic beer, right? Wink, wink. But you don't hear that anymore. With social media, these guys, they're just, they're going, they're conditioning, 24/7 year round.
nutrition.
Oh, absolutely.
They're not eating the burgers and all that stuff. But talking bars, Joe and I was in the library most of the time, and we rarely saw any other athletes. We were just quizzing each other, going back and forth. And
actually, one of us probably was. That was me. It wasn't you, Bill.
But it is the greatest name for a bar. I know up in Michigan Tech, one of the great bars there, it's a brewery. It's called The Library. Yep. And so you run up a tab and, hey, I got to pay my library. That's when you had to check out books and you had late fees. And
how about another genius idea? It started in Madison after we graduated, but I know Joe's going to understand what I'm talking about. There was a laundromat after we graduated in Madison that had a bar in it.
Yep.
And so think about how many times we just sat there with our duffel bags worth of dirty clothes, just talking, doing whatever, being like, all right, we probably got about 2.5 more hours and we should be done. Yep. But somebody put a bar in a laundromat and they're killing it. Kids are going in there nonstop doing laundry.
I might have left a couple loads in the dryer. Oh, you're at the bar? Oh, shoot. And 2 days later, where's my shorts? Must be the only one, huh?
So talking about athletes and taking care of themselves, when it comes to especially the Olympics, and you see it a little bit in baseball, a little bit in football, with PEDs. There's a new organization coming out, and it's set for May of 2026. And once again, this is from the Hammer as well, out east. It's called the Enhanced Games. They're going to have swimming, track and field, and weightlifting. But the big difference is PEDs, performance enhancement drugs, are allowed in these competitions. So there's going to be no testing in these competitions. And weightlifting, I think weightlifting has always been like that. That the Olympics, they test, but then in outside competitions, it's either a competition where they test or a competition where I don't know what they call it, but where they don't test, where they know everybody in there's juicing.
Right.
But I think Saturday Night Live forecasted that way back. They did the all juiced games. I'll never forget the guy is Boris or somebody from Yugoslavia is lifting, and all of a sudden his arms fall off and he's got blood squirting out of the shoulders. And
well, the big kicker with this organization too is they're offering $1 million bonus for anybody that breaks a world record. So it's they're definitely bringing the excitement to it, saying if you're on PEDs, you should be able to break a world record. If somebody said it not on PEDs, now that you're taking them.
I understand the 3 sports that they're doing. I hope that it is a success and they increase it to more sports, because I'd be all for it. You know what? You see what you can push your body to. For entertainment and you want to get paid for it, you be my guest.
Well, and here's another thing too, and this is something that I've argued for a while, baseball. So everybody, remember when baseball players had to go in front of Congress and testify and all that? What people forget, and I'm 99.99%, I believe I'm accurate, is in that era, steroids were not illegal.
Right.
They just didn't test for them.
Mm-hmm.
And in their CBA, just like we've talked about with the NFL CBA, when I was playing, and this has changed since then, but when I was playing, they tested for marijuana and street drugs during the season, but they did not test for them in the offseason. So basically, the unwritten rule with players was that wanted to use stuff like that was if you did want to use it, it's legal to use it in the offseason, but illegal during the season. Sure. Steroids and PEDs, they tested for in the offseason. So you couldn't use steroids in the offseason, but during the season, they didn't test for it. Right. And we had, back before emails, we had memos that gave us the exact dates when the testing started and ended. And you knew, anybody could do the math and be like, takes this many weeks to get out of your system. You got to stop on this date to be clean on that date.
Right.
So I don't know.
I just know through a friend, and it's a pretty reliable friend, and it's a Big Ten college. We'll just say it's Easty here. In the 70s, late 70s, they were handing out steroids like it was creatine these days, right? And it was, and so I guess going to your point, these athletes in the late 70s, but I would say late 80s to, let's just go all the way to 2000. These pitchers were getting their big contracts from 31, 32. They were signing 4 or 5 year deals, and then they were signing another big deal at 35, pitching to 38, 39. I challenge you to look at major league rosters. There ain't many 33, 34-year-old pitchers anymore in the major leagues. Yeah. Their arms are shot, right? Because they can't recover. right? So I think one of the things is, you know, from what I've heard with roids is the recovery.
Yes.
They can just continue putting their body to the test, and the recovery aids in it. Right?
Yep.
Interesting. Thank you for listening to another episode of 217 South Mills.
If you like what you heard, smash the like and follow buttons on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and X.
We'd like to thank our sponsor, Cabin Coffee Altoona. Tune in next time, folks.